Okay, we're going to pull back the curtain on a massive, super sophisticated global industry that's hiding in plain sight. It's a whole operation that quietly chips away at the value of our degrees, our certifications, you name it.
So, just how big are we talking? Get this, $5 billion. That's the estimated size of the exam fraud industry. And look, this isn't just a few students trying to get an edge. This is big, big business, running on a scale that could rival some legitimate companies.
This quote, it really hits the nail on the head. You know, whenever a big cheating scandal makes the news, it's easy to just see it as a one-off thing. But the truth is, that's just a tremor. It's a warning sign of this massive, systemic earthquake happening just beneath the surface of our entire educational and professional world.
All right, so to really get what's going on, we need to look at the anatomy of this shadow industry. And I want you to forget everything you think you know about cheating. Modern exam fraud is a whole different ballgame. It's organized, it's professional, and it's a super high-tech ecosystem.
I mean, the evolution here is just staggering. Yesterday's cheating was, passing notes or looking over someone's shoulder. Today, it's not even in the same league. We're talking about AI generating answers on the fly, huge international networks coordinating everything, and hackers literally taking remote control of a test taker's computer without anyone being the wiser.
So, who are the players in this game? Well, it's basically a full-blown criminal enterprise. You've got these commercial services that openly advertise exam help. You have developers whose whole job is to create exploits to get around security. You've got credential mills just churning out fake degrees. And it's all tied together by these international networks that coordinate the whole shebang.
And their methods? Just as sophisticated. They're using hidden remote access tools that are totally invisible to a proctor who's just watching through a webcam. They use AI for instant answers, hire professional impersonators to take tests, and even manipulate the very software that's supposed to lock down the browser. This is cheating on an industrial scale.
But here's the really crucial point, and honestly, it's the most dangerous part of this whole thing. The real issue isn't just the fraud itself. It's something called the detection lag. This is that terrifying gap between when one of these cheating rings starts operating and when an institution finally figures it out. It means for months, maybe even years, unqualified people could be getting certified, creating this silent crisis that just erodes trust. You have to ask yourself, how long has this been going on completely undetected?
Now, that detection lag doesn't just happen by accident. So how on earth is it possible for a multi-billion-dollar industry to operate in the shadows for so long? Well, the answer comes down to three fundamental blind spots. These are vulnerabilities in our institutions that fraudsters have become absolute experts at exploiting. And these vulnerabilities, they really fall into three core areas: the technology institutions use, the way they're organized, and the very culture that exists within them. Let's break each one down. First up, the technical blind spot. A lot of institutions think a webcam is good enough. But here's the thing. Modern cheating doesn't happen with someone sneaking a peek at notes off screen. It's happening on the screen, with software manipulation, remote access, virtual machines. If you're only watching the person, you are missing the entire game.
Next, you've got the organizational blind spot. In most big institutions, responsibility is all chopped up. IT handles the tech, faculty handles the exam questions, and the administration handles policy. So who owns exam security from start to finish? A lot of the time, the answer is nobody. And those gaps between departments, that's exactly where the fraudsters slip right through.
And finally, there's the cultural blind spot. So many institutions prioritize a smooth, easy user experience way above robust security. They operate on this assumption of good faith, and that reluctance to admit just how big this threat is, well, it makes them a super easy target. It's basically like leaving the gates wide open. Okay, so the situation sounds pretty grim, I know, but it's not hopeless. The solution isn't just to add more proctors or make stricter rules. It's about a fundamental shift to a much more comprehensive, strategic approach. You can think of it as a 360-degree defense. This strategy is built on three really critical connected stages that cover the entire life of an assessment. You've got prevention before the exam, detection during it, and forensics after it's all done. Let's see how each part works. So first, pre-exam prevention. This is all about stopping fraud before it even gets a chance to get going. We're talking about strong, continuous identity verification, not just a one-time check. It means securing the testing environment and screening against known cheating tools and websites. Second, during exam detection. This is where that 360-degree view is absolutely essential. It means using multiple layers of monitoring. You're watching the camera, yes, but also the screen, the browser, and the network traffic all at the same time.
AI can then analyze all that data to spot weird anomalies and flag manipulation attempts as they happen.
And finally, post-exam forensics. Look, even with the best prevention and detection, some really sophisticated fraud rings might still get through. Forensics is what allows institutions to go back and analyze everything, the session recordings, the performance data, the network logs, to uncover these coordinated cheating rings and stop them from hitting again.
So, what does this all mean for the leaders at universities, at certification bodies, at companies who are watching this right now? It means it's time to shift from just reacting to problems to having a proactive strategy, and that starts by asking the right questions.
So, what are the key action steps? First, you've got to audit your entire ecosystem, not just your proctoring tool. Then, you need to map your specific vulnerabilities. You have to calculate the true cost of fraud, not just in money, but in your reputation. You have to invest in integrated solutions that get rid of those blind spots. And finally, you have to build a culture where exam integrity is truly everyone's responsibility.
You know, this quote really says it all. The value of a degree or a certificate is exactly what fuels this entire industry. So fraud attempts, they're not going away. The difference between an institution that becomes a victim and one that stays secure isn't luck. It's a strategic choice, built on awareness and a truly comprehensive defense. And that leaves us with this one final, crucial question. It is no longer a matter of if your institution will be targeted by these sophisticated networks. That's a certainty. The only real question is this: will you have the systems, the strategy, and the vision in place to detect them when they arrive?